Congratulations to today's daily shoutout winners. If you want to win a shoutout, leave a nice comment down below for a chance to win a shoutout in my next video.
It is me, Pennywise, the evil clown, or some sort of evil clown. I don't know who I'm supposed to be. But hi, welcome to my YouTube channel. It's your girl Lyssy. And today, guys, we are coming back with another scary video because it is Halloween time. And if you guys couldn't tell, I like Halloween and I like scary stuff. Also, guys, if you guys are new here, be sure to hit that subscribe button because we are almost at 2 million while I'm filming this. I think we might be at 2 million because I'm pre-filming this video. So when it's up now, I might not have 2 million, but when I post this, I might have 2 million. Also, guys, if you guys are excited for today's video, be sure to drop a like so the scary clown doesn't come haunt you in your sleep. But today, guys, we are going to be talking about more of the scariest, most cursed, and most terrifying children's toys that were ever made to this date. But there's a twist on it. I actually went onto my Instagram and my Twitter and I asked you guys, yes, my followers, what you guys personally thought were the most cursed and scary kids toys in your opinion. By the way, if you guys have not followed me yet on my Instagram or Twitter, definitely be sure to do that so you guys don't miss out on the chances of being in future videos like today's video. But guys, some of my amazing fans and supporters luckily did respond to my tweet and my Instagram story, and you guys told me what you thought were the most terrifying, scary kids toys. So today we're going to be going over what you guys said. So the first doll we're going to be talking about today is Jill the Talking Doll. And huge shout out to T4EL3, one of my followers, for suggesting this doll. I actually haven't heard of this doll until today, so thank you for sharing it. So Jill the Talking Doll was a very lifelike doll. She actually had a lot of emotions that she could show on her face and through the movements that she was programmed with. And the marketing slogan behind Jill the doll was, "I'm a lot like you."
A lot like you.
That was her famous slogan, saying that she's always like whoever buys her because she's so lifelike and human-like and picks up on the characteristics of the doll owner. This doll is extremely interactive. She responds to your answers and changes her story accordingly. But however, she is rather large and quite heavy and a little bit terrifying. She is wearing a striped colorful shirt and she has curly blonde hair that's up in a ponytail. And she can even blink. The lifelike movements that this doll has are terrifying enough, along with the commercial that was made for this doll. Not only is all of that terrifying, but this Jill doll even has a speaker that's built in exactly to the middle of her chest. Like, out of all places on a doll, you know, you'd think you'd have some more options to put a speaker. Like, the kids are just ripping off the doll's clothes and then they just boom, see a speaker in the middle of their doll and they're questioning everything. That was kind of a weird spot to place a speaker. I mean, the back does have a huge battery slot on this doll, so maybe that's why. What's so bad about this doll that it makes it on the creepiest list? Well, let me explain a little bit more. There are so many videos that I found online showing this doll having full out conversations. Take a look for yourself.
I was reading a magazine the other day, and there was this quiz that said, "You have star qualities?"
However, she would have so many conversations over the years of people and kids that would own her that eventually people that own this doll for a year or more were starting to see a lot of glitches and problems with their dolls. And this is where things get a little creepy. Eventually their dolls would start to stutter, or they'd have problems pronouncing certain words, or they would just start sounding monstrous, like growling, low-pitched monsters speaking to the kids playing with them, which is really creepy. This ended up scaring a lot of kids who owned one of these talking Jill dolls and even creeped out their parents because the parents would hear the dolls saying things like, "Let's have a playtime," and it was just creeping out a lot of people, on top of how lifelike this doll was. Like, it was like having a real human child in your house that understands everything you're saying, but it's a doll. Like, that is horrifying. I don't know why anybody would want this, but I mean, the Jill doll, that's something I definitely wouldn't want, so that is one creepy doll. The next doll that we're going to be talking about is the Edisons talking doll. And huge shout out to my supporter Nat Gomez for this suggestion. The Edison phonograph doll was introduced in the 1890s and it was a extremely big failure. At 22 inches tall, this doll was extremely large, heavy, expensive, and horrifying to look at. Embedded in each doll's tin torso was a miniature-sized model of Thomas Edison's phonograph. However, the phonograph that they were putting inside of these dolls did not record voice messages very smoothly. Take a look for yourself. Yeah, that clip we just played was what the doll sounds like in real life. It sounds horrible. It sounds like a horror phone call from like a horror movie, or just like, I don't even know, they just sound possessed. And even Edison himself knew that they did not sound good. That's probably why they flopped and failed so hard, because no kids really wanted a doll that sounded like that. However, Edison's talking doll was a huge historic step in the phonograph history, as it was the first phonograph marketed for home entertainment back in the early days. The original price was $10 with a simple build, and $20 to $25 with a full dress outfit on the doll. That was a huge sum of money back in the time that this doll was released, especially for what it looked like. That was equal to about 2 weeks of salary for the average person back in those days, because working, you didn't make much money back then, so that was one very expensive toy to buy for your kids, so only like wealthy people could have done it. So altogether, these dolls were not only creepy and ancient, but one of the first ever made dolls and one of the scariest, creepiest, most ancient dolls and toys ever made that just did not go well. The next toy we're going to be talking about is the cymbal banging monkey, and I'm sure you guys have all seen these horrifying things. I hate them. Fun fact, really sad fact, I do not like monkeys very much. I don't know why, but monkeys actually kind of scare me. Just a little bit. I mean, I don't know what it is, but they just creep me out, especially the cymbal banging monkeys. Huge shout out to Addison Lynn 07 for this suggestion, by the way. Thank you for suggesting this. A cymbal banging monkey toy, better known as Jolly Chimp, is a mechanical deception of a monkey holding a cymbal in each hand. When activated, it repetitively bangs its cymbals together, and in some cases bops its head, chatters, screeches, grins, pops its eyes out. Literally, the eyes pop out of the head of this thing. Does flips and more. This monkey does a lot of stuff. Of course, it bangs its cymbals. We all know that. That thing would be so annoying. There are both traditional versions and wind-up versions, as well as updated battery-operated cymbal banging monkeys. The Japanese company Daishin CK manufactured the classic cymbal monkey during the 1950s to the 1970s under the name Musical Jolly Chimp. It screeched and showed its teeth when its head was pressed. It had a black on and off lever on its back and came with a green arm tag. But imagine you wake up in the middle of the night just to see your cymbal banging monkey sitting across the room staring at you, just going like this. Have a whole heart attack. And funny thing is, I've seen stories on like Reddit forums of people that claim they've had a haunted cymbal banging monkey that would go off in the middle of the night by itself, and that would freak me out, okay? I just do not like those toys. They're horrifying. The next creepy toy we're going to be talking about is the Baby Alive doll. I'm surprised I haven't gotten to this, but huge shout out to Keisha on Instagram for suggesting this doll. So if you guys don't know what the Baby Alive doll was, well, let me catch you up on this one. I remember seeing commercials about this thing when I was younger, and the commercials are so creepy. The Baby Alive doll was introduced on the shelves in 1973. It could eat packet foods mixed with water that were fed into it from a spoon. It came with a bottle, it dirtied nappies, and one version of the doll even produced vomit. That's really nasty. That's horrifying. A little too realistic if you ask me. Unlike other plastic babies who only have clothes and strollers, Baby Alive simulated the perils of caring for a child by forcing children to cope with its eating and even its urination needs. Or worse, you even had to change this baby's diapers. So basically the whole point of Baby Alive was to teach children how to fend and care for a real human baby with just using a doll as a simulation. And trust me, I did that back in middle school with a fake baby, and that was the worst 24 hours of my life. And I had a bracelet too, so I was like bound to the thing, and my teacher would flunk me if I like got away from the thing within like 3 feet distance. Yeah, those things are not pleasant, and I do not know why the commercials were so freaking creepy for these things. Like, they were terrifying. And last but not least, we're going to be talking about a very, very scary one, and this one is called Carbuncle. I hope I said that right. This was actually recommended by a fan who lives in another country. Huge shout out to Vic's Baby Girl on Twitter. Thank you for recommending this one. This one is scary. I do want to mention this one is not exactly a toy or a doll, but it is a puppet. So let me explain the background of this puppet for you that's on a TV show. In a cave nearby, there lives a carbuncle on an ill-tempered troll-like creature who is illiterate, but desperately wants to learn reading and writing so he can write a story about his species, the carbuncles. They're ugly. One day, Mick, the protagonist, visits Carbuncle's cave and tries to teach him to read. So this was eventually a children's show that was a Dutch series, and a lot of the children who grew up watching the show claimed that it was their greatest trauma from their childhood. And trust me, there is tons of people on Reddit forums, TikTok, all over the internet that claim that this show specifically gave them night terrors, scared them to go to sleep at night, and traumatized them since they were little. To this day, they don't want to watch the the show ever again. Yes, it was truly that terrifying. They created all sorts of replicas of the Carbuncle puppets, and they were horrifying. Also, I would love to mention how from the clips I've seen of the show, the puppets sound super irritated and cranky in the clips that I've seen. They sort of have an older voice to them, kind of like an elderly voice. I definitely find it unsettling in myself, even just from the images and few clips I've seen. I'm surprised that they even aired a show like this to children, because that show, if I would have seen it when I was younger, it would have just gave me nightmares and it would have made me cry. I probably would have had my parents shut it off the TV because I just don't like that kind of like feeling of a show. Like it just looks unsettling, like it's creepy nostalgic, if you know what I mean. But imagine actually owning one of the puppets or the Carbuncles from this show. I actually wonder if the producers or whoever made it has the Carbuncles. Imagine they just have the puppets like sitting in their basement. Oh heck no, that thing would be worse than a Five Nights at Freddy's animatronic. I'd rather have one of those than that. Anyways guys, that's going to do it for today's scary toys that you guys probably wouldn't want to own. If you guys enjoyed today's video, be sure to drop a like, guys. Let's see if we get this video to 20,000 likes and I'll keep this series going about scary toys. Anyways guys, that's gonna do it for today's video. Thank you all so much for watching and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye guys!